Hey guys, welcome back to Gideon Stuff. Today we have a first impressions video, although you probably knew that because you read the title. See, us YouTubers, we just assume that you guys don't read the title. That way we get to say all of our YouTubery stuff, you know, all of our what's up, Gideon gang, don't forget to smash that subscribe button and share this video with your grandma's best friend, whatever. So, we're gonna skip that part. Anyways, get into some knives. Also, you might notice this big, beautiful chunk of calcite. I was out in the field the other day and I collected a bunch of different calcite pieces. This one's really cool because I doubt this will show up on camera, but you get this kind of this rainbow iridescence off of it. I don't think it'll show up on camera, but yeah, I found some nice calcite crystals. Still need to clean them up, but that's what we're going to talk about today. We got 3 knives to go over. Let's go ahead and start with this one. This is the Gerber Randy Newberg Hunter, and so I'm filming this in early October, and I have a friend who are getting ready to go on an antelope hunt. I'm not sure where, and they decided they were going to get themselves a hunting tool, and I guess this is what they chose, but they did not like it. And my friend comes to me, he says, hey, you've got a YouTube channel with knives and stuff, and you know, that's weird. Look at this. And I looked at it, I was like, oh, wow, this is, what do you want me to do with this? He said, I have no idea, but I'm not going to use it, so you can have it. And so here it is. And yeah, I'm not exactly sure what to do with this knife. I made a short about this knife that probably came out a couple days ago. I recorded it a long time ago. All these knives I've actually done shorts on, but we'll talk about that later. I gotta say, I'm very intrigued by this. Like, this is a really interesting knife in a lot of ways. One thing, when my buddy gave it to me, there's like all this green gunk coming out of the pivot, which is pretty weird, and now there's like this gross yellow liquid ooze out of there. So we can focus on that. So I'm not sure what that's all about, but yeah, so 420 HC blade, got this drop point with a fuller deployment, really wide bevel on here. Sharpness is, let's go ahead and grab this little piece of paper. That's sharpened, yeah, it's sharpened pretty well, well enough. Big, like this thing is huge. I think it's a good looking blade. Reminds me of some of Gerber's fixed blades. You have a pivot lock. This is running on washers, and I've gotten to where I can flick it out. It is not smooth at all. Like, you can do your flicks and stuff, but I struggle to operate the lock one-handed just because it's so big it slips out of my hand. I don't know having to grab against, but I can do like this, but then, you know, that kind of defeats the purpose of the crossbar lock where your fingers are out of the path of a blade, so I can do that. And then, anyways, gotta say, I love the stonewash on here. Absolutely love it. Beautiful, beautiful stonewash. This is honestly one of the best stonewashes I've seen. It's really, really nice. So good job, Gerber. And overall, the fit and finish on this thing's pretty good too. It's like plastic for the orange bits and like this grippy, rubbery stuff for here. It has another blade back here. It's a little saw, I guess, for getting at your joints and other hard material that you might... It's all about dressing out an animal, if that wasn't clear yet. Back lock on this thing. This little blade is D2, and it's got a half stop. And that fully locks out. Kind of this is the best grip for it, which honestly, I think this is the grip that it was meant for. Really comfortable like this, like, really, really comfortable. But I'm not sure how I feel about it either. No pocket clip, as you see, it comes in this sheath. I like it. Like, it's really cool, but at the same time, I'm not sure exactly how to review it because I don't have a hunt this year. In fact, I haven't even put in for a tag in a long time because I've just been busy with my education and career and all that. But I'm not going hunting this season. Maybe I'll tag along with a buddy if he goes for a day or two. But I'm not sure, like, this is kind of a purpose-built tool. Like, it's for hunting, and I'm not going to be going on a big hunt this year, so I'm not sure how to review it. Yeah, you guys let me know what do you think I should do? I mean, I definitely think the knife is interesting enough that, it could probably deserve a review. My buddy that gave it to me, he didn't like it because for him, it was a lot bigger. I guess it was a little bit bigger than he was wanting, and also he didn't like the crossbar lock. He thought it wasn't good with gloves, which I can completely understand. I felt similarly about crossbar locks. But yeah, I must say, since I've had it for, I don't know, a couple of weeks at this point, I've been able to loosen it up slightly. The slow roll is really, really good. Like, one-handing it off the fuller with a slow roll, no problem. But, yeah, like, it's a very unique piece. It's very interesting, and honestly, it's decently well made. I haven't really looked up the price on these yet or anything, but my buddy did say it was kind of expensive, so we'll see. Yeah, geez, I don't know. It's, we will see. So yeah, let me know, what you guys think I should do with this. Because, yeah, I mean, if it was a little bit smaller, I might try to review it as just an EDC knife, but I don't know. I really don't know. Anyways, moving on. Maybe I don't know, maybe I'll go and hunt down a stray dog or cat or something. That's a joke. That was a joke. Okay? Just for clarity. All right, so the next two knives I want to look at are from the same brand. Camillus. Woohoo! Let's go ahead and go with this one because it also has a crossbar lock. So this is the Camillus Defy. And I gotta be honest with you guys, I love this knife. This knife is so freaking cool. Right out of the box, or blister pack, I picked this up at a local Tractor Supply. Very sturdy lockup. I mean, there's a little bit of wiggle, but for crossbar locks, that's not unusual. There is some flex in the handle, just a little bit, like not as much as a bug out, but the action is just phenomenal. I am pretty sure it's on bearings. I would be absolutely shocked if it wasn't on bearings. I'm 99.2% certain that it's on bearings, but really, really interesting knife. As you can see, I have already been using it. Here's the best thing about this knife. $15. Yeah, $15. So you have this rubbery grip shin stuff here, hard plastic in here. My biggest complaint right now is the pocket clip sits right on this hard plastic. It's got like this dimpling in it, so in and out of the pocket, it's not the easiest. But very comfortable in hand. The blade is really, really nice. It's got a hollow grind. Well, actually, is that a saber? No, it's a saber grind. But 420 steel, which for $15, that's not bad. I will take that any day of the week, especially considering, I mean, that knife was in 420. All the knives we're going to be looking at in today's video are in 420 steel. I didn't even plan that. I guess sometimes Life is just serendipitous like that. But here's a knife that's also in 420 steel. And this is like an $80 knife these days. Gerber strong arm. But you know what? Especially at this price point, I think 420 is absolutely fine. Yeah. Maybe not as good as Buck's 420 with the Bose heat treat, but I think it's absolutely fine for 15 bucks. Really, really impressive. And I gotta say, Camillus just kills it in the ultra budget category. Whoops, let's see if I can do my lefty reverse flick better. There we go. And Camillus kills it in the like ultra budget category. Like this is a pretty well made knife. I mean, if we take a look here, centering, pretty darn good. Overall fit and finish is just pretty nice. It's a well made knife, especially for the money, and I'm really impressed by it. You know, okay. This is one of the weird things about me, I guess, and a lot of you that have watched the channel have probably realized it. A $250 knife that's really well made and pretty cool. I'm like, yeah, you know, this is awesome, but you know, like, come on, it's 250 bucks. It better be awesome. I love finding stuff like this in the budget bins and, you know, just ultra cheap stuff that's good. To me, that's super exciting. If you're paying over $100 for your knife, you should expect it to be well made, you know? But when you're buying stuff in this category, to me, it's always really cool when, like, they could have just given you a piece of crap, but they didn't. And it's like mind blowing. Like, wow, someone is trying to make good knives under 15 bucks. So yeah, I love finding hidden gems in this category of the price of the knife world. So yeah, pretty cool there. And especially since, like, you know, I think this will be a knife that really appeals to, you know, kind of a working man. You know, I've talked about my grandpa when I was talking about when I did Cheap Knife Week Volume 1 and how, you know, a lot of guys that I knew growing up, you know, the hard-working, you know, kind of guys, you know, they buy, you know, their knives under 15 bucks at Tractor Supply, the hardware store, feed store, whatever, use it until they couldn't use it anymore, and then, you know, just go buy another one. And, you know, I think this type of knife would really appeal to someone like my grandpa, although he might not like the crossbar lock. Maybe, though. Actually, he might like that. But, you know, and even for someone who's like trying to be a collector on a budget, I don't know, this is still pretty cool. You get the axis lock, you know, it's kind of a enthusiast element to it, I guess. But yeah, just really, really cool. I love stuff like that. Very, very cool. All right, the other Camillus. This is the Camillus Skiverus. This is a weird one. So first of all, what the heck does Skiverus mean? I made that joke in the short I did on this knife. By the time you guys are seeing this video, the shorts for these would have been out like a long time ago. But here, I've still got the package right here. Let's take a look at this. Okay. Skiverus. Like, what the heck does that mean? What the heck does that mean? It's not like omnivorous, carnivorous, herbivorous, piscivorous, stuff like that. And actually, on Tractor Supply's code, they call it the Camillus Civic on their website. Anyways, whatever. We're not going to talk about that. Getting off track, but don't really understand the terminology behind this. This is an interesting knife. I think it's a good-looking knife. When I first got it, it is on bearings, but when I first got it, you push the lock bar and the blade, you'd have to like shake the blade down. But the detent ball has wore in. Very snappy, as you can see. And again, $15 knife, very smooth. Centering, pretty much dead on. My one thing is, like, look how much, like, the blade to handle ratio is really weird. Like, you get a very short blade and a pretty big handle. I wish they'd either made the blade bigger or made the handle shorter. Have this wonderful big forward finger choil, great jimping up here. The blade on this knife actually kind of reminds me of the Sincut Tainan. It's kind of like just like a blown up version of that, right? Right? Yeah. Look at this knife. Look at that disgusting bead blast. See how, look, okay, satin finish. Getting some fingerprints on it and stuff, but you know, it looks okay. And then this bead blast. I love this knife, but gosh, the more you use a knife with a bead blast, like, the uglier it gets. It's just disgustorous. Anyways, not about bead blast. Another thing about this knife that's really, really cool for the price point is that the liners are inset and the scales are contoured. You've got like a little pivot color. These scales are plastic. They are plastic, but the ergonomics are honestly really, really good. So maybe, I think they made the knife this big so that people with bigger hands could get their pinky there, but I don't know, like, I think they could have chopped a little bit off, if I'm being honest. But again, 420 steel, excellent, excellent finger choil. I've been using this knife as well. Didn't come super sharp out of the box, and then after like a day of using it, it went dull, so I stropped it up or honed it up. I honed it up because I used ceramic rod, but now it's got a, probably not a super great edge, but probably it's got a working edge on there, so not too bad, not too bad. But I gotta say, I'm just super impressed with this knife, both of these knives, for the price. And now the question to ask you guys, the question I asked in a short. It's interesting, shorts get tons and tons and tons of views, but not a whole lot of engagement. You know, like not very many people comment and stuff. And so in one of my shorts, at the time of recording at least, I had one person, G-Man, longtime viewer, shout out to you. He said that I was asking, geez, I'm getting off track. I need to tell you guys what the question is at first. Should I include these in a Cheap Knife Week Volume 3? Okay, there, we got it out. Or should they get their own separate videos? He said that he wanted to see this knife get its own separate review, and then someone else said that he wants to see these in a Cheap Knife Week. So, since more people comment on long-form videos like this, I'm once again asking for your guys' opinions. What do you think? Should these go in for Cheap Knife Week Volume 3 or separate reviews? Or should one go in Cheap Knife Week Volume 3 and one get a separate review? Actually, you know what? If one gets a separate review, they both will. Because I'll just put that rule out. Now, normally I would just include them in Cheap Knife Week without asking, you know, for your guys' opinions or permission, whatever. Normally I would just include them in Cheap Knife Week because they fall very, very solidly in that under $30 price category that we go for with Cheap Knife Week. And Cheap Knife Week Volume 2 has already come out by the time you guys see this video. It was actually hard for me to find knives in the right price category for that. Even, you know, I had the Camillus Bushcrafter was going to be in Cheap Knife Week Volume 2 because when I bought this like 2 years ago, it was $30 on the dot, and now they're going for between 45 and 50. So I kicked it out and replaced it with the Kershaw Cryo because I saw at a local sporting goods store they were selling these for $23. You know, just the 8CR versions with the all steel. And then, you know, I went online and I found that a lot of places are selling these for like $35, $40, and you know, it's getting tough to find stuff that's completely in that under $30 category. And so, you know, these would be great knives for that. But the one thing that's kind of making me be like, maybe they should get their own reviews instead of going into another Cheap Knife Week is because Camillus just really kicks ass in Cheap Knife Week. Like, this knife was in Cheap Knife Week Volume 2, and it did very, very well. It didn't come in in the number 1 spot, but it was close. Like, the three of the knives for Cheap Knife Week were like neck and neck for which one was the best, and it was honestly, you know, pick your poison. Like, you know, either any of the three would have been, you know, excellent. And if you remember from Cheap Knife Week Volume 1, the Camillus, oh, fudge, what is it? Oh, Gideon, oh man. The LK6, whatever it was, that one like completely wiped the floor with the competition. Camillus makes great knives in this price tier. So, you know, I feel like if I were to include these in a Cheap Knife Week, in Cheap Knife Week Volume 3, you know, it'd just kind of be like, you know, no-brainers, like, oh, they win. But, you know, part of me is like, you know, that what's wrong with that? Like, these are $15 knives, and if they're that good, you know, they deserve to be highlighted. So, yeah, you know, I'm gonna ask you guys, you know, do you want to see these in another Cheap Knife Week compared against, you know, 3 other knives in a similar price tier, and, you know, just to see how good they really are for the money, because I would absolutely do that. Or, you know, if you guys would rather see them get their own separate reviews, I could do that too. Or I could just ignore what you guys vote for in the comments below and just do my own thing. That's always very possible, but I'll try not to. You know, I'll try to listen to what you guys say. But yeah, so there's the 3 knives that we had to do first impressions on. Kind of an interesting assortment. 2 knives that are really, really impressing me because of their quality to value. This knife is just super weird, and I don't really know what to do with it. But yeah, let me know down below what you guys think. As I'm recording this again, October. It's getting to be that busy time of the year for me. I've got some content scheduled out to about mid-November, which is probably when this video will come out. But yeah, I've got a lot coming up. Gonna be pretty busy. I've undertaken a new research project, which can't really talk about right now. But yeah, it's gonna be pretty busy. So whenever I do get around to reviewing these knives, it probably won't be until next year. Because yeah, you guys probably won't see videos of these knives till at least late January, if not sometime in February, because of just how busy I'm gonna be. But I mean, hopefully you guys stay tuned. As of today, we are at 760 subscribers on the channel, and that is absolutely blowing my mind. If we can get to 1,000 by the end of the year, I'll do a really cool giveaway. I'll do a really cool giveaway when we hit 1,000. Anyways, but shh, I'm trying to bribe viewers into meeting my personal goals. It's a weird way to say that, but it's kind of true. Anyways, that's enough time wasted for today. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I've been Gideon. I'll see you in the next one. Adios.